Alright, so in this video, I want to show you how can you create your own tutorials and using the effect called the punch-in effect, like this one. For example, if you want to show a software that you're teaching, like Photoshop, in this example, you see the full screen and then it punches in and shows the section of the screen and you can see it better what is going on, what tool is used. Maybe you're showing, a graph or a presentation and there's a lot of information here, and as you can see, this was edited so that you can start to focus on the upper right corner, like so, and then you can go down and, punch it a little bit on the bottom right corner. Same goes for the bottom left corner and the upper left. Great. Now this effect is so crucial to use in tutorials where you're teaching or showing, web pages, some spreadsheet documents. Let's start creating. So I have this user showing that you can use a generative fill effect, and I want to focus on this area specifically when he types his prompt. Now it's somewhere from here. Okay, how can you create the punch-in effect? Well, first you go to Effects, and you find the Effects panel here, and all you need is an adjustment clip. You can also type it here and, adjustment clip. You drag and drop it, and instead of just applying this on your footage, adjustment clip is not an effect that you apply on your footage. Adjustment clip is like a blank clip or empty clip that you place on top of your footage like a hat or helmet. And everything that we apply next to our adjustment clip will affect everything below it. So it's kind of handy to use it later. We'll see where it goes. Now let's close the effects panel now and let's zoom in a little bit so we can see it better. Now, what I want to create is to have this adjustment clip, well, exactly 7 seconds. And, well, I can scroll it like so and, find a specific frame and, I can hit it or not. But the easiest way to cut exactly 7 seconds is by using your playhead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Shift key on my keyboard and go right and press the right key holding Shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let it be 8 seconds. And then I'm going to, prolong it a little bit more, make it longer. Let's go to the beginning of the adjustment clip. Let's highlight our adjustment clip and let's go to the inspector. And you probably guessed it right, we're going to animate the zoom in effect. So what I want to create, and let's have it seen here. This is our adjustment clip. What I want to create is I want to have the punch in effect for the very first second to show the zoom animation. Then I want to hold this section for about 7 or 6 seconds. And then I want to exit it to the original scale, original size of the screen that I captured here. So let's enable our animation by hitting this diamond icon. And then we can go exactly 1 second to the right by holding Shift and pressing the right key on our keyboard. And then we're going to double click here and type 1.5. This will create 1.5 for the X and Y. Fantastic, I already created the keyframe, the second keyframe. If I enable this icon here, I will see, and let me scroll a little bit lower down. I'm not working with audio, we're going to see better what we're doing. And you can see that I've created this animation. This is the graphic illustration of what have we done. We had this animation that's starting from 1.0 and then it goes all the way up to 1.5. Excellent. Let's continue and have our playhead somewhere here. I'm going to hold Shift and going to press right, 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 and let's stop here. and say that we want to keep this animation at 1.5 and stay and create a keyframe. We created another keyframe, and now I want this animation to go down back to the original size. 1 second. And then I create my keyframe by double-clicking here and just pressing 1. Exactly. Now, I've created my keyframes, and this is the graph I've created. We can play the animation and see what we've got. So we have a zoom in for, some period of time, like 5 seconds. It could be enough for this example, and then it goes out. But I kind of don't like the animation to be like robotic. It goes like a straight line up and a straight line down. It looks cheesy. It looks, cheap. In order to make it smoother or more professional, now what we want is selecting this keyframe, and we want the smooth animation of these two keyframes. I'm highlighting these two keyframes, and I'm going to have the smooth animation. Same goes for these two keyframes. Smooth animation. So it will go an S-curve, like ease in and then ease out. Let's see what we have now. It goes like whoop. You see the difference? And then it goes smoothly out. Excellent. This is the effect that I really want. Now we can close this curve for now. We already created this effect, and all we have to do now is to find exactly where we want this effect to be applied. Now we can move it, and it will be much easier for us to navigate where we want this effect to be. Now let's see what we have here. So it starts by selecting this rectangular, and then it types the prompt. So it should be somewhere here. It zooms in, it shows that it types a silly dog, and then it zooms out. And we see that the effect is being loaded and it takes some time. And then we see that the dog was created. Cool. We can also have this copy of the adjustment clip and place it somewhere here. Now, this clip is a different one. Let's prolong this footage a little bit more and apply it again. So we have the same effect applied, and we can already show the result. Excellent. Now, I want to illustrate you the same effect, the punch-in effect, but this time we're not focusing on the center of the frame. For this time, we're going to focus on 4 sections of this entire screen: the upper right, the bottom right, the bottom left, and the upper left. This is a document illustrating some atom switchers. This document is created by John Barker, and he generously shared it online. So let's have a look. How can we apply the punch-in effect and, understand what is going on here? So here you can see that the user is highlighting this section of the spreadsheet document, and we want to, punch in to this frame. Now, if we apply this effect here, like so, we will be zooming in, like, exactly in the center. If we want to have the zoom effect applied somewhere to the right, we just need to adjust not the position. We don't need to animate anything anymore. All we have to do is adjust our anchor point. And we go and move it to this side of the frame, and maybe to this side of the frame. Oh, the mouse is on the bottom. So, okay, let's show it right here. I don't want these edges to be seen. I want it to be covered completely. So this is the maximum I can go with. And let's see what we have. I have just adjusted these anchor point values. And if we go to the beginning and hit play, you can see that we highlighted and we zoomed in to the bottom. Cool. Now, we can also adjust this effect, maybe let it start playing from this section, like so. Exactly. Now, I like it. Now, what I want to show you is that you can also create already your adjustment clips for each and every corner. How can we do that? Well, we need another adjustment clip. Let's go here to the, not the media pool, sorry, effects, adjustment clip. And let's have a look to the adjustment clip, like so. Now, this is the original adjustment clip with the animation. Let's not use it right now. We're going to focus on the adjustment clip of this one, and let's highlight it to be, brown. What I want to do is I want to have this divided as a guideline to me to show how can I see this frame divided by 4. And to do that, I can use an effect called the grid. I think it's the same tab. No, it's not the same tab. It's in the generators. No, it's not in the generators. Where was it? Is it in filters? Yes, it's in filters. So the grid effect, we apply it to the adjustment clip, and we can see that we have this kind of grid applied to our footage. Let's change its color to, red, reddish, maybe this one. Cool. Now let's divide this just by 2 columns or 2 cells by 2 column cells, 2 rows and 2 columns. This is just for us to see what is going on. And we don't need any major line spacing, so we can just, have this kind of equal. Also goes for the line width. Yeah, so we can leave it as is. What we can do now is we can just have this, our original animated clip, put it on top, and this clip was for the bottom right corner. If we go and then adjust our anchor points, we can see that the red line appears just where the edge is. So we can kind of see that the value of this animation is about 535. So 535 or minus 535. Now, as opposed to the X value, if we drag it a little bit to the left or right, and until I see the red edge, that's the maximum value I can go with, which is 950. Excellent. Well, let's continue and create another adjustment clip by holding Alt and dragging it to the right. And this time I want this one to focus. Well, I need the grid to be present also. Let's have the grid all the way here. So what I've created is I have the grid placed on top of the clip, and I have my second adjustment layer, and this time, this adjustment layer, I want to have the bottom left corner. Well, mathematically, I can have this value and just type minus 950. That's all. I already see that my red edge is just where I want it to be. That's the maximum section of the frame I can go with. Excellent. Let's create another one and go to the upper left corner. Well, upper left corner is something to do with the Y value. And if we just remove the minus, we can go here, and this is our section. We can kind of see that we've zoomed in specifically to the upper left corner. And same goes to the right corner. If we go here and remove the minus symbol from the X value, like so, will be presented here. So what we've got is we've created 4 adjustment clips very quickly by animating just one. We had just one adjustment clip. We started with the center, and then we continued to focus on left, right, and so on. We've created 4 adjustment clips. Excellent. All we have to do is just disable this adjustment clip. We can also delete it. We don't need it anymore. We have created our adjustment clips, and they are there. If we don't want this to be, right or bottom left, we can select which one is which. Let me show you a way how you can save your adjustment clips and use them in every project you deserve. So we need to close the effects panel. We don't need the inspector panel. What we need is we need to go to our media pool, and we need to have these power windows enabled. If you don't have it, you need to go right here and you have to enable show power bins. Power bins, not power windows. Power bins is the section of, like a master project. We can now take this adjustment layer and just drag and drop it to our power bins, like so. And we created an adjustment clip for which animation? Let's double check which animation was it. This one was for the bottom right corner. Let's rename this as the punch in bottom right corner, like so. We can go now and take this one and save it to our power bins. This is the bottom left corner. Let's drag and drop it to our master power bins. Let's rename it to punch in bottom left corner. We repeat the same process for the upper left corner. We take it and we drag it all the way up here, and we can rename it as punch in upper left corner. And we select this one and we drag it and we rename it for punch in upper right corner. And now, whenever we go to our timeline, now, for example, we want to have a highlight section of this graphic here. Which corner is it? That's the bottom right corner. So we drag and drop our adjustment clip now already with the preset we created. So the bottom right corner adjustment clip can be now placed directly from the power bin section. And we can hit play. This is the zoom in effect for the bottom right corner. It has this animation and it goes out. If we want, we can create another one. Now, this time the mouse is over here, so let's have this upper left corner. Upper left corner, like so. Here you go. We've just added this animation without, doing this over and over again with the animations. And we can also save our first adjustment layer because we were just doing the center zoom in animation. Let's have this also here. And now we can also have a punch in center. Right in the center. We have created, well, basically a toolkit to have these animations applied for every time we need to have our viewers' attention focused on a specific section of the frame, whether it's a graph or a tutorial of a software. You're the one who's guiding the viewer and showing them in much more pleasant way. This is how you can take your video editing tutorials to the next level. Enjoy!